Once again, welcome back to Plot. Right, good morning everybody. Believe it or not, I'm going to have to take my coat off. I come down here this morning, it was absolutely freezing cold. Only 50 inside the greenhouse here in the northeast. I wouldn't believe it coming at the beginning of April, but believe it or not, we're going to do another couple of frosts again this weekend. Friday into Saturday, it's going to be really cold here. So just beware. All these people starting to put their spring bedding out. Talking to a young lady up near the plot yesterday, and she lost all her bedding plants. Of course, and I hear she had been up to Aldi in Howden, bought a load of bedding plants 3 weeks ago, and of course we've got heavy frosts in there. She lost every one of them. So I said I'll replace them with. So I've always got a few extra plants. So I says I'll replace them for I give a few of my own to up and run. And I'm always telling them second week in May up here, second week in May even into June, before I even think about putting bedding out, especially with the dahlias. I'll show you when we go this afternoon, because we're going to pot on our dahlias this afternoon. It's a perfect time, just the end of April, just nice. There's still stacks of time. They're going to be potted off and they're going to sit in their plug trays for a month, so they'll get a really good root system. When I throw them out the trays this afternoon, if you've been watching my last videos, you'll have an idea of how I like to grow mine. And the marigolds are exactly the same. I'm never in a hurry to pot them off, and I'm never in a hurry to prick them off at a too early a stage. Now the small what I'm doing down here is, if you remember I showed you in the last video, I finished off all of the lobelia. God, I was sick by the time I got the end of that. Trayfuls of lobelia, blue lobelia, mixed trail lobelia for the baskets. The blue lobelia is not so bad because I can leave it a little bit longer, because it's only for planting outside in the pots and borders and stuff like that. Whereas the hanging stuff, the trailing, I like it a little bit earlier, so you get a nice big pot full ready to plant in the baskets. So I showed you last week, and it's my favourite flower, this one. It's a daisy, and it's pretty hard to get at times. The trailing, and I love these for the baskets, are pretty hard to get, so I'll send away for mine. Sometimes you can get them at Wilkinson's, but if not, like I say, I like to send away for mine. But once again, when I'm potting on, the easiest thing to do when they're in rows like this is just dig them out. I dig them out into little clumps like that, and then all I have to do is put them on the side. I've got my little multi-cell tray there. Nothing difficult. Multi-cell trays. There's 9 in there. I always use the 9s for the likes of the lobelia and the daisies. And all you've got to do is just gently, if your soil's nice and moist, I give it a good drink last night, and there you go. You just tease them off, and you get nice little bunches of 2s and 3s. I hate it when people start potting off and they prick them off into 1s. And they just look so lonely on their own, and I love just nice little bunches like that, and they grow out into a first class plant, ready for potting off into, say, your baskets, your tubs. These can go nice in the garden even. I use 3 different kinds of daisy. I use the Livingston daisy, the mesembryanthemum. I use the trailing daisy that goes into the baskets, and I've also this year I've got the Cape daisy. Now the Cape daisies grew fantastic. I've just put them in cups in there already. They need potting off, because it's far too early to think about putting them out. But as I say, these little daisies here, all you have to do is just make a depression in your pot, pop them in. Now once again, my compost, it's got plenty of soil, plenty of grit in it, plenty of sharp sand, so when you're teasing the trays out, they should tease away really easy into nice little groups. It's not difficult. Don't be mean. That's only 2 packets of seeds, and they're only £1 a packet. So for £2 I'm getting 3 rows, and I've done mine. I've done the ones I want, and that's, oops, there's mine there. I've just took us 5 minutes to do them. Fill the pots up, and then I put a nice little clump of 4s and 5s in there, and that's all I need. That's for my baskets. Here done. For the rest, I'm going to multi-cell trays for family and friends. Such an easy job. I want to get these finished today because I've started making some room in my own greenhouse. If you've been watching John Murphy, well, he was doing his backy. Well, I've been doing mine, and this is a perique. This is the old-time backy, pipe backy. I thought I'd give it a try this year. I've grown the tobacco plant for years outside, and now I thought of growing the actual tobacco itself. I don't smoke myself, but no doubt it'll come in handy for a few of the lads up the garden. A few of them like the rollies, so it's just a try to see how it goes. But the main thing is to get me tomatoes potted up. And now these are the Red Robin. They're tiny, absolutely spot on. And these are from Carl Nolan from Silver Gardens Brewery. He sent me the seeds up, and I've got a good dozen. I gave a couple away, and I've kept a dozen for myself. As you know, in this greenhouse, I'm not going to take any benches. I hate stripping benches out down home. I leave all my benches in. All I do is clean, give them a good sweeping down once I'm finished potting off. Put them in big pots or grow bags, whatever you want. And these little babies will stop down here. Just a nice little cherry tomato. Come down, pick off a nice bunch upstairs for the wife, and they should be able to move them. But yeah, we're still in full swing. I've still got quite a few plants knocking around in the back there. I've got peppers and chilies to pot up. I've got loads more of these Livingston daisies, loads more of the trailing daisies to finish off. I've got some peppers to do, and then we'll get myself way up the plot, and I'll get started on these dahlias. At the moment, the sky's looking a bit bleak. It's absolutely black out there. We had some really heavy showers through the night, and I think they were a bit on the hill side because I could hear them rattling off the roof. But as I say, everything's on hold at the moment. I've got nothing at all planted out. I haven't even put my runner beans in. What I've been doing this week is, I'll show you this afternoon, I've been concentrating on 2 glasshouses that I got given. Well, luckily now they're both done. They're fully glazed with the help of one of the lads at the garden. Many thanks to John again. Big John, he's been down helping me every day, putting the clips and that in, and we've got them fully glazed. I've got some chippings for the floor. So what I'll do next week, I mean, we've been really lucky with those 2 glasshouses. They're going to come in really handy, because I'll show you the potatoes up there. They're just romping away. Well, Winston and we're jazzy. They're absolutely fantastic. You know, they've got another month to go yet, because we like to leave them till the end of May, and that's traditionally when I like to plant my tomatoes into the cold greenhouse at the end of May. The tatties come out. The spring cabbage is fantastic. A lovely big hearts in them. They'll be coming out, and they'll be just in time for the tomatoes going in. But I've got some tomatoes that I planted a little bit early down here. The giant orange, the Corfu, and the Marmande are big tomatoes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant them in the glass greenhouses. Yeah, because already now they're in big 9-inch pots, and they're starting to fill their roots out. So in a week's time, the tomatoes are really hungry plants. So in a week's time they'll be, with a new composter in, they'll be full of root. So rather than wait until the end of May, I'll put them in big black pots in buckets, and they'll go into 2 glasshouses. So that saved me a little job for later on. I've got tomatoes coming up now, just a little bit bigger, and by the end of the month they'll be first class for putting into the polytunnels. So we're not going to lose out. We've got plenty of stuff to go into there. I've got sweet corn coming through, so that'll go in the polytunnels. I'll put some courgettes in, some zucchinis spread around in there. So there's loads of stuff to be planted yet. And what I'm going to make a start on this weekend is to start sowing some sunflowers. I always wait until beginning of May before I start them off, because I find that they grow really quick in the heat, but they're really frost tender, so I don't like to have them too big. I like to have just a nice small plant for planting out at the end of May, same as all my other bedding. So we'll start sowing some sunflowers when we get up there. Okay, so the sun's trying to crack through there. I'm going to crack on here, get the last of these daisies finished, and then I'll take these up the plot, and we'll get started on the dahlias. Okay, so I'll see you all again soon. Right, good afternoon everybody. Once again, welcome back to the plot. It's an absolute cracking day today. I'm going to make the most of every minute today and tomorrow, because Bank Holiday Monday is going to be horrendous. So I think the only thing we'll get done, if it is heavy rain and wind, gale force winds, is to get ourselves in the greenhouse and get some potting off finished. Believe you me, that's all I've done for the last week. Let's pot off. But rather than let the plants starve in their pots, small pots, move them on. It's still far too cold to be planting anything outside yet. And believe you me, I've still got me here. I've still got my shallots sitting. It's just I've never had a chance to get round to doing it. Just one of the jobs I'm going to have to do today is clear off the weed. And they're in big enough pots. The roots are just at the bottom there, so maybe it's Tuesday or Wednesday. The first thing I'm going to do is put a pea frame up right along the first bed, yeah, double row. Broad beans up there, runner beans up the back, and French beans up the front, and then I'll get the full row of these in, the shallots. But they're absolutely cracking little planties. I've got the Mick next door, Mick and Lynn, he plants it, give us half a dozen bulbs last year. I've not grown them for a few years, but they're absolutely spot on. Nice lovely little plants. What I'll do, maybe tomorrow, I'll give them a weeding out and give them a good drink of nettle juice. There's a bit of nitrogen in that, and that'll bump them up. These are not the wallflowers. These are the blue cornflower that were planted early on in the year, and I've been throwing a lot of these outside. This is a back bench. All we've got in here is a plastic cover on the top, and really that's all I need, because one of my main jobs this afternoon is get these babies out, these little beauties. And of course these are, if you remember, the greyhound were potted off about 3 weeks ago, and these dudes have been sitting in the first tunnel right on the top bench, and of course that's where all the heat is, near the polythene. It can be cold of an evening, but brassicas love it. They love the coolness, so they are absolutely spot on them plants, nice and clean. They've had a garlic spray. I gave them a garlic spray about a fortnight ago, and what I'll do before I plant them out, they'll sit in this back bed here for a week, getting really nice and hardy, because we are due a couple of frosts. It was cold this morning, but I don't think it was frosty here. I would say down to 1, 2 maybe in northeast, but it wasn't too bad. So what I'm going to concentrate on this afternoon is getting all them brassicas out, getting them on the back here, and then them two can have a good drink of nettle juice. It'll just give them that little bit of boost up before we plant them out. Probably next week in a far bed there. By then we'll be in the second week of May. So that's the first things to be planted out, to be brassicas, which can stand it up for a certain amount of cold weather. You know, as long as they're shaded, the tunnels are shaded from the north here with a big greenhouse. So hopefully they'll stand up, and plus I'll put a net over them, which will keep the pigeons off. There's a load of collared doves and wood pigeons up here, and of course some of the lads have got racing pigeons, so they love to come down and have a free feed. But no, not off me, especially not me brassicas, so not me sprouts anyway. So that's a job I'm going to do next week. Set the trenches up, put the hoops on, put the nets on, and we'll get cracking planting out. I don't know if I'll be able to turn this round. I've got I've got both the greenhouses finished. That's the two of them over there. You can see them, 2 glass ones. No doubt they'll come in there really handy. I'm going to put some early tomatoes in them. Up the top end there's sweet peas. They're still sitting out here. I've given a few away. There's quite a few people had them. So I'm going to take a couple down home for the missus, plant them out. But get over in the far greenhouse here, and we'll get cracking on, starting with these dahlias, and of course the marigolds. I'll show you how I like to do mine. Okay, right. God, it's damn sight warmer in here than what it is outside. We've still got that little bit of cold breeze coming down from the north, and it's a little bit chilly when you're outside. But once you get inside the tunnel, it's absolutely fantastic. Right, so one of my main jobs of the day, if you remember, a few weeks ago, I was telling you about the dahlias, and of course these are the bend dahlias, and not the big show dahlias. I've been taking cuttings left, right and centre of the big ones. I've got loads of them, but these are my little favourites. I grow these every year, and they're such an easy flower to grow. Fantastic for colour in your gardens, around your pots, anyway. But as I explained, I use a full-size seed tray, nice deep one, 2 inch. I use my own compost, my own homemade compost, nice and deep. There's plenty of feed in that. Self-sow, just scatter the seed above as best as you can, open them out, and as you can see, there's a first-class tray there. And all I do is just go around, and of course with my own compost, and just have a little feel through it, and you often see little bits of grass or little bits of grimsel growing. And it's no hardship, just to keep pulling them out, little bits of grass and that, and you've got a first class tray of plants ready to go out. Here's some more grass over that side there, just keep throwing them out. Now there's nothing difficult about that. I'll let them grow on to that size for the reason only is that tray now will be absolutely chock-a with root. I can just see the roots come through the bottom there, so now's the time to plant it out. And it's such an easy job to do. I get my tray, I've got my tray ready, I've got my compost, and I've got my pots ready. All I need to do now is to give it a little shove. Nothing easier than that, and the full tray's out. And it works for me every year. Well, just give it a good whacking out. There we go. And you can just peel them apart. And that is a first class plant. That's a lovely little dahlia plant. There we are. Just peel them apart. As I say, you can see the soil dropping off it because it's nice and loose, well drained, plenty of sharp sand in it. And there's some first class little dahlias ready for potting up. As I say, I've got my cups here ready. I just put them to one side, move that over a little bit, and get in there. Pop them in the cup. A little bit extra compost, push down. Nothing difficult about that. And there you have a first class dahlia. That's going to get a little bit of water on it now. The trays, I've got plenty of trays ready, set up. Nice deep trays, no holes in. I'll get 15, 16 in there, and then I'll soak in the tray and let them take their own moisture up, because as I say, it's a good sandy mix. It once again, don't need anything else with it, and whatever's in that pot is going to last them through until 3 weeks time, 4 weeks time, which is going to take at the end of May, which is fine for me for dahlias. Never any earlier than that, even up to the first week in June. I'm only just getting on top of my baskets now. I've been putting up the, and of course when I finished these off the other day, that's one thing I did forget to mention, these are the Swan River daisy. That's for the baskets. The mesembryanthemum is for outside in the pots. Not, you can't put them in the baskets, but don't get them confused. I've still got tomatoes here to pot up. I've got them lying all over the shop. I've got grapevines on this side. There's the grapevines growing away, really nice. I've had a couple ask for them, so no doubt when these are well rooted, I'll be sending a couple of vines out again. So that's another job I've got to do, but I'll be putting them on the back burner for a few weeks yet until they get well rooted. As I say, I want to crack on these dahlias, get the dahlias done, and then I've got the marigolds to do. Well, the marigolds are exactly the same. They're in trays like that, and they're exactly the same as the dahlia. Nice deep trays full of compost, and I'll do exactly the same thing. Just give it a little bit of creaking and a little bit of bending and throw it out, and the whole tray will come out. And I'll do exactly the same with the marigolds. I'll just break them up in tiny little bunches, 3s and 4s. Never put them off singly. 3s and 4s into a pot and make a lovely little display. A lot of them will be going into polytunnels. Of course, I like to have, I like to put marigolds in amongst my tomatoes, get the white fly in that little bit. But they're just nice when you're walking through and you've got a lovely truss of tomatoes hanging there, and gorgeous marigolds underneath. There's nothing better than a sight like that. Absolutely beautiful. Lifts my heart every time I go through the greenhouse. Never get sick of tomatoes, never get sick of potting off, and I never get sick of growing them. I've got 5, 6 varieties this year. The ones down home, which I pointed out the other day, are the red robin. I've just potted them up this morning into 9cm pots, and they're growing great. They're only going to get about a foot high, so they're perfect for my greenhouse down home. Up here, I've got Alicante, I've got Moneymaker, I've got Tigrella, I've got Ace, I've got Marmand. So the list is endless. My job next week is to get them first 2 glass greenhouses full of tomatoes. If the weather turns, if it gets a little bit warmer, which the forecast is due, so we're going to get a little bit milder after this weekend. So if it gets a bit warmer, I'll get the first of the tomatoes planted out there. We'll start the video off next week in the Glasshouse, where I want to put 2 rows and what they'll be going into. they'll be going into black pots like these. I've got hundreds, absolutely hundreds of these. So they'll be, just make sure they've got plenty of drainage in the bottom, and I'll be making a big mix up. I use my own compost, but once again I add a couple of barrel loads of pony manure to it, just small manure, mix that well in, bit extra sand, bit extra soil if I need be, and a bit of lime, and then that's a first class mix for the tomatoes. The pots will be filled right at the top with about 2 inches from the top, and then tomatoes planted in there, canes in them, stake straight away. What I'm going to do at the back of the greenhouses, I've got some polystyrene fish boxes. I'm going to stack them in 2, leave one with the bottom in, and the top one cut the bottom out so it's too high, and I'll grow a couple of cucumbers in them. That's in each of the glass greenhouses. I've got Socrates growing at home. I only planted them last week in last week's video, and of course they're through already with the heat down home. Absolutely marvellous. I'd like to get round today and show you the strawberries that I've put there. We just haven't got time. As I say, I've been really busy at home, looking after the missus, and then trying to get out as much as I can outside in the back, getting the potting off done, then bringing it back up the garden here, watering down. I'll have to come back here the night and water down because it's far too hot at the moment. The potatoes absolutely romping away. They're loving it, and of course they're the Winston potatoes in there. And of course for strawberry baskets, these are the latest ones. There's no flowers on these yet, but the ones that's in the first polytunnel, they're absolutely marvellous. The fuchsia's coming into flower there. I've got cuttings to start taking off them, but I might crack on with that next week. But we'll just do another. We'll do another. There's my little marker. That was buried, my little dahlia marker. But you can't mistake your plants once you put the dahlias in. And as I say, people keep going on about weeds and that. Well, once you learn your weeds from your seeds, you can't go wrong. There's another one done just for good measure. Now I'll work away here for an hour this afternoon, and I'll have 2 or 3 dozen potted up. I've got 2 full trays of dahlias. You normally get 40 seed in a packet, so that's 3 dozen. So I'm looking at 6 dozen potted dahlias. Try and get them done this afternoon, and then if I do get back up tonight, I'll spend an hour watering down, getting everything watered. Once the sun starts dropping. And then tomorrow afternoon I'll do the marigolds. I'll get started on the marigolds. I'll get them out of the way because I've got loads more tomatoes still to pot up. So I'm going to get crack on, get as much potting off this weekend as I can. That means next week we can get out in the garden, and I'll start a couple of videos off on there. We'll put the wigwams up, we'll put our canes in for beans, we'll get the shallots in, and then we'll have a good look round. We'll even start planting a few outdoor tomatoes. But that's all for next week's vid. As I say, I'm a bit busy this week, so I'm going to crack on, try and get as much as I can done. Thanks for all the comments again after last week's video. I'm glad some people's getting a few tips and helping them out. Don't forget to subscribe if you go on my YouTube channel, and just go on my main page, my face page, and you'll see the sign to subscribe. Just press that, and what you'll do, you'll get an alert every time I put a video out. Doesn't cost you anything, but as I say, subscribe and you'll get an alert every time I put a video up. I'm hoping to get one done every week. As I say, we're that busy at the moment. We're going to try and get one out every week if we can. But just to keep us updated on what we're doing. Rhubarb beds outside is doing fantastic, and these are a few of the things I should be showing you. But unfortunately, we're going to cut it short this week and crack on with these dahlias. But we'll be pulling our first rhubarb tomorrow, and no doubt, if the wife feels a bit better, we'll get a rhubarb crumble. But that's all for next week. Okay then, so I'm going to leave it at that. As I say, don't forget to subscribe. If you can't wait for the video, you can catch one on our Facebook page. It's Jeff Foreman on the Plot. Send our friends request and we'll get you signed up. Lots to do and lots to be talking about, but that's for another video. Okay, so I'll see you all again in a week's time. Ta-ra for now.